Your news tonight, with one board member down and another member who verbally resigned this morning, the Guam Education Board is left with only 7 members, which could affect the way they vote in the future. PNC's Rebecca Elmore was at today's board meeting where they discussed interim superintendent position. Here's more.
Has concluded its executive session. Is there a motion on the floor?
At today's highly anticipated Guam Education Board meeting, there were 2 noticeable absences, Charlene Concepcion and Ryan Torres. Both are appointed members by Governor Eddie Calvo, along with Ken Chargaloff. And both submitted their resignations today, heeding the governor's call for their resignations. Chargaloff, however, has publicly refused to step down. Their resignations came after the governor unleashed an inferno on what he called a cast of characters who conspired to sabotage Superintendent John Fernandez and to remove him as a contender in the 2018 gubernatorial elections. GEB contracted legal counsel Gary Gumatauto was at the meeting today, where he also told PNC that the trouble for the board is just underway.
The board can't do anything without a quorum of 5 and a vote of 5. So anything less than that, they're just meeting, but they can't take any action. So the minimum number of board members that must vote is 5, so that means you'd need at least 5 to have your quorum. So out of the 9.
Meanwhile, the board also discussed the position of an interim superintendent. Joe Sanchez is serving in an acting capacity as a superintendent, and typically acting administrator positions can only be held for 90 days. But Gumatauto has advised the board that the acting position can be held for up to a year.
They asked me, do we have to have an interim? And I'm like, well, let me go look it up. But somebody could serve in this position, for up to a year without actually having the position, so in an acting position. So they don't really need to call it an interim.
Also at today's meeting, Chargaloff, who is one of the 6 members who voted to terminate Fernandez's contract, surprisingly motioned that the superintendent continue to receive his biweekly salary, his benefits, his sick leave, and as well as any type of leave as mentioned in his contract. The motion carried. For PNC's News First, I'm Rebecca Elmore.